All right. Welcome everybody to another exciting video. Chess with Lutho, and you are chilling with me, Lutho, Chess with Lutho. My thoughts, my understanding, my 2 cents, my interpretation of the game of chess, and everything in between. Well, we are looking at a series that I'm doing in the night time, which is the SummerSlam Tournament 2024. And today, I was doing the tournament. I was playing the tournament. Where's my English today? Hey, I was playing the tournament on the 3rd of December 2024. Yes, with some players lined up for the tournament, of course. Rogov taking the tournament away and actually winning us with a Grand Slam of 6 points. Crazy. But yeah, he just wiped the floor with the players in the tournament. Alright, but before we actually go into that, I'm going to show you the game between myself and Rogov today. That's game number 4. I showed you game number 1 already. Unfortunately, I cannot remember game number 2 and game number 3 as yet. Remember, this is rapid, and we were not actually notating anything, so I have to piece together the game according to what I remember, and then bringing the game to the live audience. But there are some of the games that I've actually managed to piece together well. Game number 4, 5, and 6, and game number 1 already is out of the way, so we don't count that one. So yeah, I'm going to be showing those, and hopefully when I remember game number 2 and 3, I'll be able to show those two as well. Let's take a detour first, and I want to show you something that is, for chess fans, not much of a shocker because we actually, follow the trends. But Gukesh has won game number 11 against Ding Liren. Very important victory at this point of the match, especially considering that the match structure is placed such that the person who first reaches 7.5 points, I believe, will be the winner of the match, as noted in this paragraph here. The 2024 FIDE World Championship in Singapore decides the next world champion. 18-year-old Indian challenger Gukesh Damraju takes on Chinese defending champion Ding Liren in a 14-game match, with the first to 7.5 points winning. So yeah, and then he continues talking about the time controls as well as the money that the players stand a chance to win each time they win a game, and also the overall prize fund. And this is very important because now, as we are going to the last 3 games, Gukesh doesn't have to actually, try to outperform Ding Liren. Of course, I know that he won't want to betray his chess and will want to, play it with all he's got, but he can actually take it slow and just draw the next 3 matches. You remember yesterday I told you that some preparation perhaps is going to appear as we go towards the end of the match, considering that the format of the match is such that when you get to 7.5, you actually win the match. So obviously, last minute preparations to just give you just a bit of a boost will be what we are actually seeing as the game gets to the end. Yeah, I just wanted to also, show you the game without real analysis so that you can see what actually happened. Yes, c4 was played, the Reti opening, knight f3, and yeah, after the move d4, which is a normal move, the move b4 was actually played, and you can see that this is something new that hadn't been played in the tournament before, in the World Championship match, the current World Championship match. Something new that was actually, on the board, and Ding Liren had to sort of remember theory, but at the same time, he had to avoid Kukesh's preparation. And I think at this move, they say that he had played this position before, but he took about 40 moves to actually play his next move. And yeah, some people actually describe that as very, very careless, but yeah, at the same time, there's so many questions that you had to, avoid. And yeah, but he got a nicely, decent position, especially after the move b5, where he's actually allowing a knight to occupy the c5 square very nicely, as well as the other knight as well to occupy a nice square on e5 as well. Yeah, so very good position for the knights, but unfortunately he couldn't deliver so well on the win, especially after the move g6. He was supposed to play 6 and bishop d6, developing the queen, the bishop to this side rather than to fianchetto the bishop or to put it on h6. Unfortunately, after that, the game became a bit complicated and he lost his way a bit, and finally he had to, give up the game, which was a sad buzz. Here, queen takes e6, and you have to resign because we're losing a piece. A very bad blunder, but yeah, okay. Sad buzz. What can we do? Yeah, so let's get into the business of the day. The game that I have with Matvey Rogov starts off with the move d4, and we play into the Queen's Gambit. Nothing, spectacular here. Everything well known before. I chose the move e3 because I didn't want to go into this line where we get sort of a Carlsbad structure, and yeah, there's a lot of theory that is around this point. So I thought, let me just avoid everything. Just play, simple chess, e3. Just play to castle. Even though I waste some temples with take c4, bishop takes c4. It's not like a major thing. Now this b5 move is being threatened. I immediately duck away with the move bishop d3. Some players criticize this and say, hey, just allow b5 to actually happen, because when you duck away, you actually allow him to play something else and he does not commit to this plan. Why should he commit to the plan? I'm not entirely sure as well, but yeah, this is the general thoughts of some people. So c5, hitting the pawn on d4, and I was now anticipating that we might actually go into an isolated pawn. So I played the move queen onto e2, ready to play my rook on d1. Fortunately played b5 for himself, and I played e4. This is the unfortunate move, and this is actually a blunder. I actually didn't notice it before, but after c takes d4, I cannot take this pawn because taking the pawn allows me to lose a piece, which is what I did. My intention was to actually play knight onto c6. So if, for example, he defends the square with bishop b7, then I have to move e5. I get to occupy some better space than him, and I am very, very much happy in this position. Unfortunately, here he played knight onto e5, where he holds the square c6 with the knight, but at the same time is attacking the bishop, and the queen is also attacking the knight. Bishop onto e3 had to be played, but it doesn't save anything. Here he's supposed to actually take here on c3, and after b takes c3, knight d3, queen d3, e5, he gets to win an entire piece. Unfortunately, he played the move knight takes d3 and allowed me to escape with murder, because now knight onto c6 hits the queen, hits the bishop. It gives white enough time to actually escape with his piece. So queen onto c7 played attacking the knight, knight takes a5, and here you can see that the material is balanced. This one is attacked while this one is attacking that one, so he decided to capture pawn first, and after queen takes b2, then the queen takes on a5. And you can see here, basically Rogov has a pawn up. Of course, he could have gotten a lot more. He actually had an opportunity to gain a piece. But okay, I've survived a bit, the initial stages. And now comes the point of what to do. Just to analyze the position for you, you can see that white has 3 pieces developed, black has 2 pieces. The unfortunate thing is that this piece here is not so well placed at the moment. Of course, this piece as well is not so well placed. And there's some lead in development as well as some control of the center. Potentials of actually pushing the pawn to e5, and some development issues that still have to be solved by black, but it's not major development issues. So, do I have enough compensation for the pawn? No, not by a long shot, but hopefully I can actually generate some things which can give me enough compensation. So I play the move bishop c5. I think perhaps the move e5 was a bit better. Say if he plays the move knight onto d7, then the pawn goes to f4. And I can actually try to generate some things on the king side here, but if not, then perhaps I can get the knight onto d6. Let's say bishop b7 is played, rook onto d1, hitting the knight. And after a move like rook onto d8, protecting, I can try for, let's say, rook onto d3, double up the rooks on the d5, and I should be active a bit. Yeah, but I did not consider anything that had to do with this. I played the move bishop c5. And what's bad about the move bishop c5 is the fact that after a few moves and the pawn pushes to e5, which is the logical plan of the move, now with knight e7 he actually hits the bishop, which means the bishop would have to move again, and that wastes some time. Of course, the bishop stands nicely on this square, controlling some nice key squares, but like the square c7 where the queen would like to go back, but not enough, especially after the move bishop b7, holding the square where the knight would like to go, and bringing a rook on c8. Now, what to do here? I played the move rook on e1 with the idea of rook d3, rook g3, or rook h3, and then trying to, orchestrate some attack on the king side. My reasoning is that if you cut the board in half, you can see 4 of the pieces that belong to black actually are standing on the queen side. Of course, the knight can come back and defend on the king side. If I want to, I can actually remove the defender. But this was the logic of the reason why I played rook e1 for rook e3, rook g3. Yeah, but anyway, just continuing with the story, rook onto c8, rook e3, rook c4, and basically now he's wanting to occupy the c file, rook onto d1, and this was the final mistake, I believe, because this was the second mistake that I made. And the idea is I'm allowing him to double up his rook without giving him any pressure or contesting the plan, because I have something in mind. But I placed my rook on the wrong square. So the idea was, let's just put this here. Let's say, for example, I play a move like h4. I'm just making an example. After rook onto c8, rook g3, if he should take the rook on c3, then the move bishop b4 interferes, and then I get to pick up the rook on c3. But unfortunately, I played rook onto d1, and this doesn't work so well, because after rook takes rook g3, which is what was played in the game, rook takes c3 was played, and bishop b4, forcing the queen to move. And my anticipation, of course, was the queen moves back and I capture the rook, but unfortunately, he just plays queen onto a4, and that hits the rook, which threatens checkmate. And even if you want to defend this, it doesn't matter. You can just sacrifice on d1, and after queen d1, rook c1, and that should be game. So queen onto f4, a4 was a very terrible move, losing move, on the spot for white as well. And after rook onto f1, rook g3, takes g3, queen c2, queen d4, queen dash g2 is checkmate, and that ends the game between myself and Rogov. an unfortunate performance there, especially considering that he had to be stopped in game number 4 because in game number 5 and 6 he was playing against people whom he has a very huge positive plus score. Shall I mention names? Let me rather allow you to do your own research there. Yeah, and this was the only chance, since I have actually beaten him in the game as well, to actually, stop him. But unfortunately, I failed by making these unnecessary blunders. So yeah, he wins the game in that way, and went on again to win the tournament as well. Anyway, that is the end of the game. Guys, be sure to like and subscribe. Offer your comments as well on the comment section. Positive, critical. Offer your comments there in the comment section. And also, don't forget to leave us those WhatsApp voice notes. Tell us what you think and what else you have in mind, or what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts? We want to know. And we want to actually play your thoughts online as well, so that we can actually engage in the chess community can come alive, So yeah, thank you very much, guys, and I'm hoping to see you guys in the next video as well. Cheers.